And welcome back to my Let's Play of Nier. Boy, that was certainly a crazy trip. That was a crazy trip if there ever was one. Before I go back, though, let's see. This must be another person infected by the death dream. It would appear that way, yes. Oh, fuck me. Gods, please don't tell me we have to go back in there. I'm no good at this mind game crap. I'd rather hit something in the face and be done with it. Perhaps you should spend less time complaining and more time getting on with the mission. Yeah. I breathe air scented with death and resist the urge to laugh, for I know it will sound like the words of a madman. How long have I been in this fresh hell? My box, my prison, is tucked under a stairway in the long, unused catacombs of some infinite castle. Outside, I hear the sounds of a funeral dirge that seems without end. Light has no place here, wind is a forgotten friend. I pray for death to come, but he forsakes me. Time passes and eternity slips by in the single tick of the clock. Someone knocks on my prison. Hey, anyone in there? I hear an unfamiliar voice say. My savior! I claw at the door of my jail, embedding thick splinters under my ragged nails. I scream for help. I laugh. I sob. Surely this is a product of my addled mind. Surely it cannot be true. Help me, I cry, for the love of all gods, help me. And possibly I hear the sound of a lock being torn out and falling to the floor. As the door slowly creaks open, I have just enough time to see a silver-haired man in a floating book before the light pours inside. My eyes, accustomed to the blackness, explode with pain, and I am forced to turn away. Who are you? I ask, shaking my hands, covering my face. How have you come to this place? I am Grimoire Weiss. This is Luca. Long have we been searching for you. Now come, stand. We shall awaken from this nightmare together. The one known as Luca extends his massive hand and pulls me from the cell. Though my eyes are slow to adjust to freedom, my ears are as keen as ever, and they recognize the staccato sounds of heavy rain. I never thought to hear the rain again, I whisper. Would that this were not such a terrible storm, said Grimoire Weiss. Look at your feet. I force my eyes open and see water pulling around my feet and lapping at my shins. There's so much of it. Yes, and more comes each moment we delay. If we do not make our good escape, we shall all drown in this castle. We know that you are weak, but you are our only hope to survive this place. Time, that long-forgotten friend, made itself known again. I nodded my head and swore to save my rescuers no matter the cost. The castle catacombs are a maze, twisting upon themselves like an endless entrails of a giant. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed north. At the end of the corridor, I find a row of 20 gorgeous canopied beds resting atop a carpet of velvet. All are covered in a thick layer of dust and cobwebs. Searching for the door to the next room, I come upon a shapeless mass of gray matter. It has been shoved against the side of a wall, and despite my fever, I think I see the outlines of a door just beyond. When I reach out a finger and touch a piece of the mass, it turns to dust and drifts away on the wind. Realization slowly dawns, and I fall to my knees and weep. Corpses. I face a mountain of charred and crumbling corpses. I look from it to the beds and back again until the horror dawns full upon me. Someone has piled those bodies into a tower and set them ablaze. Whether they were alive or dead, I do not know. Insanity will not permit me to consider the proposition further. I make a sound, whether a scream or laughter I cannot be certain. Then my mind grants me merciful blackness, and I find myself opening the door and leaving that most terrible of rooms. I squint down and proceed down the dim corridors. I squint down the dim corridors and proceed west. I squint down the dim corridors. What if at the end of the path, the waters rise to my waist, exhausting me both physically and spiritually. I pray that this is the way out. Eventually I can stand the side of the waters no longer, and so my eyes turn upwards. Imagine my surprise when I see a series of paintings hanging on the faded plaster wall. Each depicts a person in the prime of life, clad in clothing of the highest quality. The styles, however, are strange to me, leading me to believe that these people had lived long, long ago. One subject wears an outfit that particularly catches my eye. It is constructed of a thin, breezy cloth and decorated with a motif of flowers and birds, while encircling the figure's waist is a leather belt of the most perfect construction. It is a stunning costume even by modern standards. As I gaze at the portrait, I am struck by a desire to touch it with my own hands. Yet as I extend a single finger to the painting, I am gripped by a most unpleasant feeling. Staring closely at the image, I see it bend and warp into the shape of another finger. Something behind the picture is pointing at me. Is it another prisoner, a fellow inmate trapped for eternity in this place? I cannot let it pass, and so I seize the portrait with both hands and throw it into the water. The wall is hollow behind the painting, and inside I can just make out a body. Whether or not this is a prisoner, there would be no rescue. This poor soul is long dead. Scraps of clothing lie on the floor around the bones. Only a small amount of the fabric has survived, but it features the same delicate designs that were depicted in the portrait. I have been admiring a row of corpses blocked from view by portraits of each victim at their pinnacle. Enough. Shielding my eyes, I paddled forward through the water. I squint down the dim corridors. The water has risen to my chin and now laps greedily at my mouth and nose. "You dumb bats," shouts Luca, that surely desires to say more, but the rest of his insult is cut short by the rising water. Grimoire of ice, wet and tattered, floats on the water's surface. It is already too late for him. This wasn't how it was supposed to end. What? So apparently I could die in the dream. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew? Well, let's try this again. Wait. Yeah, I'm in the village, right? I can't believe... Well, I guess a dream is as real as anything you make of it. I find myself in a great hall with only the sounds of rain for comfort. The waterlogged red carpet squishes beneath my feet as I approach the center of the room. Once there, I behold a beautiful dining table upon which rests china and silver of the finest construction, as well as the remains of a fantastic feast. As my eyes continue to adjust, I see many chairs surrounding the table, each holding a dinner guest. Noticing movement, I approach the chair at the table's head, but as the truth of the matter dawns on me, I recoil in horror. The host of the feast is a corpse, as are all the invited guests. An army of foul, wiggling insects have made their homes in their remains, and this is the movement I saw. This once splendid feast was now nothing more than a requiem for the damned. I take a moment to steady my shaking hands and then slowly back away from the table. Desperate to lose sight of the abomination before me, my gaze lands upon the chairs upon which the dead were seated. This is a mistake, for the chairs to prove even more terrible than the feast itself. Each one is covered in a layer of spikes that run from the seat, up the back and down the arms. This explains the color of the carpet beneath my feet. I can only pray that the unfortunate diners were dead when the meal began. For if not, it is not a simple task to envision the agonized screams that must have sprung forth from their mouths. My mind grasps frantically at the possibility that these souls had committed some terrible crime for which this was punishment. Though in truth, I suspect they had committed no crime at all. There would be no tomorrow for these unfortunates. This was their last supper. I squint down at the dim corridors. Oh, Jesus Christ. Really? Wooden casks lie on their sides in a dark chamber. Doubtless they are filled with wine. My thirst roars to life. I cannot remember the last time my parched throat had relief. I scramble to the first cask and pull frantically at the cork. The theft of a few cups means nothing, I tell myself. The casks will be ruined by the flood regardless. Finally, the cork surrenders to my attack, and thick red liquid bursts forth from the hole. This is no wine. It is blood still warm from the body, whether animal or something else, I cannot say. The foul liquid soon mixes with the rising flood waters, creating a warmth that laps against my thighs. By all the gods, are the rest of these casks filled with blood as well? I lack the courage to confirm my suspicion. Disgust quickly becomes fear as I turn to flee, but my weakened legs once betray me, sending me toppling over into the red ocean below. The smell of death is everywhere. It threatens to consume me. I must escape this hell. Crawling on all fours like an animal, holding back screams lest any foulness enters my mouth, I lurch forward through the red waters and out of the room to freedom. I squint down at the dim corridors. The water has risen to my chin. God damn it! I will get this, damn it! And I'm not gonna look it up. Against all hope, we make it to the front door. Break it down, someone cries, and so I give myself to the effort. In tandem with Luca and Grimoire Vice, I slam my body against the thick, sturdy door. On the third try, it gives way and we find ourselves sprawled in front of the castle. The storm is in retreat. The clouds above are still dark and foreboding, but to the west I can see a thin shimmer of sunlight trying to break through. How can I thank you? I cry as tears join the rain on my cheeks. I would surely have died in there. Looking down, I suddenly notice that my dress is in tatters and sheepishly try to cover my exposed skin. Your dress? Then you're a woman, madam? Yes, I am. I proffer to a smile. I suppose that comes as something of a surprise, seeing as how I exist only in the form of words. I can see that the one known as Luca is disappointed that the torn dress will be given no further description, but he hides it well. With a nod and a shrug, the three of us set forth to our awakening. But behind us, an awakening of another kind is taking place. Black smoke fills the abandoned castle, providing the countless damned souls inside with their final shroud. After a moment, the castle's windows shatter with a mighty roar. A fresh breeze blows through the hallways and corridors, clearing the smoke away for good. As we watch in awe, uncountable black shadows slowly flicker to life, crossing to and fro in front of the broken windows. The castle's dead have awakened to their new life as shades. Oh my god! You have anything to say about that? Hopefully there will be no more labyrinth next time. I hear you. Oh, fuck me, that was nuts, man. Okay, so... Oof, yeah, that definitely took some time. And I think that means the one thing I'm gonna do is... I'm gonna bring this one to a close for today, and we still have... Next time we have one more person to free from their dreamlike state. Oh boy, hopefully it doesn't take us forever. So in the meantime though, if you liked what you saw, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.